Part of our 2022 North Dakota Shrine Bowl player profile. And joining us now is Branden Alvarez from Surrey. And Branden, nine-man football in Surrey. You guys have had a really good couple of seasons up there in nine-man. What does it mean for you to be nominated as a senior here across the state of North Dakota with a lot of really good talent across the state?
I mean, it means a lot to me. I appreciate the fact that I was nominated. I honestly could never really thought expected to be nominated. But I think I will agree that there is a lot of talent across the state for sure. And I can see that in, my teammates as well as other teams as well.
The one thing about this is a melting pot. Once you get to an all-star game, you get guys from all across the state of North Dakota, whether it's the southwest court portion to the northeast portion here, and get to come for one particular game. Is there someone that you're looking forward to having on your side of the line of scrimmage, so to speak, Branden, for a change, or someone you've seen on highlights run loose and say, hey, I wonder what it would be like to play with, that particular player for a week of football?
In particular, I guess not particularly. I am very excited to have one of my teammates, Jagger Dickman, on my team. As his teammate, I've really, grown to really trust him. He's a lineman as well as me. I was the center. And I'm also excited to have a couple of players from, I believe, Divide and Ray Powers Lake. Yeah, so.
It's one of those deals where if someone hasn't seen you play football before, Branden, you mentioned you're a lineman. What would be the best way to describe your style of play on the football field?
Well, me as a small lineman, very small center, quick, I guess, quick and agile.
Is there something that you're going to take away from your time on the football field from your coaches that you've kind of learned into your next chapter of life, or anything particularly, Branden, in terms of once everything is done and once the Shrine Bowl is done, kind of the high school days, so to speak, that portion kind of moves behind you? Is there anything in particular you're going to take away from your coaches?
Yes, very, very much. I think that a lot of what happens in football can be, applied to life as well. Being respectful, one of them, to your leaders and also younger people as well. I think that's a very big part of it. It doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, being respectful and being, trustworthy toward that person is very important. I think that'll get you a lot of places.
So once everything is done here, what's the next step for you, Branden? What's the plans come August, September, and what's the next chapter once you take off that helmet, at Mayville State for one more time as a Mustang?
Yeah, so I think I've almost fully committed to Minot State, based on the circumstances that I'm in. I'm gonna stay here and hopefully play some football, do some music, and potentially optometry.
Nice. So Mayville, so for Minot State, what just made that, be the right fit for you, particularly in terms of taking your talents, but also taking your studies to, the Magic City a little bit?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was based on my circumstance. Living really close to Minot is just a benefit for me, being able to, stay with my parents for a little bit, and I think that since I don't entirely know what I want to do, it's best just to at least get my generals done in Minot, and then, if I want to move somewhere else, I can.
So nine-man football, favorite memory of all time, if there was one that kind of stands out, maybe a game or more, or maybe just being a fan of going to a game that maybe you weren't playing in, Branden, is there one or two memories that are more, kind of stand out than the others?
Yeah, I think that I have had 2 interceptions and ran for touchdowns one in my sophomore year and one my junior. And the reaction from my teammates was, "That's why you're homeschooled." And I'm not entirely sure what that means. But I just thought that was yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was definitely stuck with me. And then I guess another one would just be as a linebacker as well. Just my favorite thing to do, maybe one in particular in Mohall this last year, is just to run someone over and try to get to the ball. It felt very good to be the hammer and not the nail. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's always better to be the one that's kind of delivering the hit than the one that's absorbing the hit a little bit right there. And final two things for you before we let you go, Branden. Superstitious? Are you superstitious before a game? And if so, take us through it. Did you have to, put the shoelaces on left to right first, or anything of that nature?
I am not superstitious, actually. I believe that the biggest things to succeed in the game at a high level is just to trust your teammates, obviously eat well, drink water, uh, and just play football. So
final thing for you, because you mentioned again your homeschool, though, what was it like in terms of, if you could talk to someone who's 10, 12 years old that's going through kind of homeschooling as well, wondering how they kind of can be incorporated in terms of the local sports scene or anything of extracurricular activities that comes with, high school and middle school, what would be some words of wisdom that you would kind of give them, knowing that you've gone through it now, you've done it, you're moving on to the next chapter? What would be some words of encouragement for them as well, if they wanted to dip their toe into football or into something else?
yeah, well, for football in particular, I mean, this can be applied to both anything else and football as well. But just work for your spot. Work for your spot in your team. Be respectful. Like I said, a big thing for me. And then when you get older, just be good to the younger class, because if you start to become kind of toxic, I guess, they're going to follow your example, and they're going to do that to the younger class as well. So as a homeschooler, whenever someone is just kind of mean to you or something like that, just push through it, work hard for your spot in football or anything else, and you'll be fine.
Branden, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here in the Shrine Bowl, and best of luck in the Magic City at Minot State as well, coming up here in the fall.
Thank you very much.